This is the town of Oceana, the oldest town in Wyoming County, West Virginia, and the subject of a 2013 documentary that was titled Oceana. The documentary rendered Oceana as a poor and beaten down community in the hills of Appalachia that was being decimated by the prescription pill epidemic. The filmmaker interviewed multiple subjects in the video, all of who painted a dark picture of a town that was tearing at the seams economically, and according to many was quickly entering into both a health and humanity crisis. I wanted to take a quick ride through Oceana and Wyoming County just to see what, if anything, had visibly improved since the release of the documentary almost 10 years ago. I mean, after all, since the 1960s, the United States federal government has promised to step up and handle the economic issues and poverty that has categorically ravaged Appalachia. And it's well documented that the United States has spent a minimum of $15 trillion on the federal war on poverty since the 1960s, and upwards of an additional $60 billion a year is spent in the federal government's war on drugs. Yet, for whatever reason, there is zero evidence of all these hard-earned tax dollars being spent on Oceana, West Virginia. As I rode through the town, the indication of the toll that the prescription pill plague had taken on Oceana and Wyoming County seemed very obvious. Spend 3-4 minutes in the 7-Eleven parking lot and you'll see firsthand people wandering through with that aimless and empty look on their face. Drive through the strip mall and you'll see the department stores are gone, and the few random storefronts that are occupied are held by businesses that target and take advantage of poor people, like Rent-A-Center. I want to be sure to point out that I'm not attempting to tear into Oceana or its people. I'm attempting to raise awareness to the lack of concern or attention by the state and federal government. I'm attempting to understand how these small towns and cities throughout Appalachia can just crumble physically and economically, and the politicians who are paid big money to solve these problems can continuously fail and yet still get reelected. I'm really trying to understand how situations in Appalachia have actually progressively worsened in spite of the trillions of tax dollars spent on the federal government's war on poverty and war on drugs. I couldn't help but notice the disproportionate amount of funeral homes and flower shops that sold funeral flower arrangements within a commercial stretch of road that seemed to be maybe not even a mile long. The amount of pharmacies that existed alone in Oceana was kind of disturbing, considering it's only a town with a population of slightly over 1,400 people. Oceana seemed to suffer from the same issues that has affected so many other small towns in Appalachia, where among the shuttered storefronts, there was a community of people who had minimum to zero employment opportunities outside of maybe working at a gas station or a grocery store for the West Virginia minimum wage of $8.75 an hour. The people appeared to be bored, broke, and almost unable to dig themselves out of the government neglect that their small town had been victimized by. Unable to dig themselves out of the havoc wreaked by a predatory medical industry that had liberally doled out prescriptions for these immensely addictive pain meds that had literally turned people and their families' lives completely upside down. Unable to dig themselves out of the debacle that had occurred when the big pharma industry seemingly zeroed in on their region of the country. And while I also certainly witnessed normal people doing normal things, like taking their kids to their Little League baseball games, buying their kids pizza, or buying their kids a toy at Family Dollar. And of course, I would have loved to have been able to spin this video to show the quaintness of small-town Appalachia. However, the harsh reality was I felt like my experience in Oceana was right in step with the grim reality that was expressed in the Oceana documentary. And honestly, just like others, I love to marvel at the stunning natural beauty of West Virginia and embrace the small-town atmosphere through some of the most beautiful scenic highways and byways that our country has to offer. I love to learn about and experience the unique and authentic intricacies of the storied Appalachian culture. But I feel as though I'd be doing a disservice to this region of America that I have always loved if I didn't attempt to advocate and raise awareness to the dereliction of duty by state and federal government that has left these once proud and prosperous towns and cities throughout Appalachia to wilt away in addiction and depression. My name is Danny, and this channel is called Unboxing Appalachia. I would encourage you to like this video, comment on this video, and please subscribe to my channel. It is my goal to explore Appalachia, learn about Appalachia, and tell the stories of Appalachia. I want to share Appalachia's beauty when possible and advocate when necessary. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I really look forward to reading your comments.
Tell her I don't wanna die right now. I just been a little sad, but my life is pretty rad. Little shorty wanna cry right now. Tell her look into my eyes, everything will be alright. I don't really wanna die right now. I just been a little down, everything's going around. You ain't really gotta cry right now. I'm still on what they told me. Get over myself, get over. I've been down now, I'm feeling like we're too far. Yeah, I rap, but I feel more like a rock star. I might have to break it out. She keep bringing up the past like she Nardwar, yeah. On the gram all day, she been creeping. Call me up, I can tell she been drinking. Asking me what's wrong with me. I'll be like, part of me, as far as I can see, there ain't no you and me. And my eyes turn red, my stomach turning inside my chest. I'm thinking what I could've said instead. And if it's possible to see you, yeah. But I don't really wanna be at all. But I don't think that you're gonna be okay if I was really gonna end it all. So I'ma tell you I don't feel this way. Tell her I don't wanna die right now. I just been a little sad, but my life is pretty rad. Little shorty wanna cry right now. Tell her look into my eyes, everything will be alright. I don't really wanna die right now. I just been a little down, everything's going around. You ain't really gotta cry right now. I'm still on what they told me. Get over myself, get over it. Get